All right, welcome. So let's be honest, if you're feeling like the markets have been, well, kind of dull and choppy lately, you are definitely not alone. It's been a really confusing environment. Today, we're going to cut through all that noise, take a look at the bigger picture, and figure out what's really going on.
And that really brings us to the big question on everyone's mind, right? Why has everything gone so quiet? And where is the next big move going to come from? Is this just the calm before a major storm, or are we just stuck? We're going to tackle this head on by looking at the one thing that acts as the fundamental fuel for all markets.
Okay, so let's get right into it. Before we even touch Bitcoin or any altcoins, we have to understand the flow of money on a global scale. You got to think of it as the tide that lifts all the boats, from stocks all the way to crypto. Now, the key metric we have to watch is something called the Global Liquidity Index. What is that? Well, it's basically a fancy way of measuring all of the cash and easy-to-access money in the world's biggest economies. When that number goes up, it means there's a ton more capital out there looking for a home. And historically, that's been a super powerful signal for where assets like crypto are headed next. Here is the absolute easiest way to think about it. It's literally rocket fuel for the markets. The more liquidity there is in the system, the higher the chance of seeing these powerful rallies across the board, in stocks, in precious metals, and especially in crypto. But when that fuel tank starts running low, the engines just start to sputter. Now, this chart is where things get really fascinating because it shows us exactly where we are. See that little dip right there? That's us. That's the short-term drop in liquidity that perfectly explains the weakness we're all feeling. But look at the projection. A sharp V-shaped recovery is expected, and that suggests a massive tailwind could be coming for a market-wide rally as we get toward the end of November.
Okay, so with that huge macro picture in our back pocket, let's zoom in a bit. Let's see how this is all playing out in the crypto market right now, because the technical charts, well, they're telling a very, very clear story.
And that story, well, it starts right here. The total crypto market cap, and this is without stablecoins, mind you, has officially broken below a super critical support level of $3.4 trillion. Yeah, that's a big deal. But here's the thing. This didn't just come out of nowhere. The warning signs were all there. We saw a major upward trend line just give way. And our key indicators, they've been flashing sell, sell, sell for several days now. This just confirms the bearish momentum that we're stuck in right now.
All right, let's drill down even further. Let's look at the two big leaders, Bitcoin and Ethereum. You know how it is. Whatever happens with them usually sets the tone for the entire crypto space.
And yep, it's pretty much the same story for both of them. Bitcoin's been flashing sell signals for days, just struggling to get back above its key trend lines. And Ethereum, meanwhile, just had a pretty significant bearish event, according to a technical indicator called the Ichimoku cloud. This slide really paints the picture, doesn't it? The Ichimoku cloud is a tool a ton of traders use to get a quick read on the market. You can think of the cloud itself as this big zone of support. For Ethereum to just slice right through it and fall below it like this, that's a major red flag. It often suggests the path of least resistance is now downwards, and the price might need to fall even further to find a new floor. Of course, I know what a lot of you are probably thinking. What about the altcoins? What happened to that alt season we were all so excited for? Let's take a look. Well, the verdict is in. That small altcoin rally that started back in June has pretty much run out of steam. The charts are showing a clear breakdown, which means a broader, more explosive altcoin season, well, it's likely been pushed back. Patience is definitely the name of the game right now. And if we look at a few key altcoins, we see the exact same pattern playing out. Solana has confirmed its bearish trend, and it's now looking at a key support level around $167. Avalanche got rejected hard from resistance, with its next logical target being down near $15.92. And Sui is testing a major support level as we speak. If that breaks, we could easily see a drop to $171. The theme is clear. There's downside pressure across the board. So, the market is weak, but we know global liquidity is set to rise. How do we square that circle? This brings us to the most important part of this whole thing, the strategy. How do you actually play this? This quote just nails it. The money will return. The strategy is not to fight the current, but to be ready for the tailwind. Trying to fight this weak market right now is a losing battle. The smart move is to wait, protect your capital, and get ready for that massive tailwind that the returning global liquidity is going to create. So here it is, a disciplined four-step approach. Step 1, and this is crucial, respect the signals. When the charts turn bearish, reduce your exposure. Don't argue with the market. Step 2, wait patiently. Please avoid trying to be a hero and catch a falling knife. Let the market find its footing. Step 3, confirm the reversal. Wait for clear, obvious signs of strength before you re-enter. And finally, step 4, ride the wave. Use that rising global liquidity as the fundamental reason for the next big rally. And that really leaves us with this final question to think about for your own strategy. Are you draining your energy and your capital trying to fight this short-term downtrend? Or are you preserving it, getting ready to position yourself when those macro conditions finally give the green light? Look, I really hope this big picture analysis brought some clarity to what's been a pretty confusing market. Thanks so much for joining us. Your subscription and likes are always appreciated.